Another edition of USHL in Focus, and joining us right now, Jeff Mitchell, the president of the Green Bay Gamblers. Thanks for joining us today, Jeff. How are things going over there in Titletown?
Things are great. We're obviously got our home opener this Saturday. I'm excited about this year's team celebrating 30 years. It's been a great run. A lot of things happening in Green Bay. We're going to host the 2025 NFL Draft. Exciting time to live in Green Bay, and again, we're really excited about not only our hockey team but also what's coming to our area as far as the NFL, et cetera.
Yeah, so the Gamblers first took the ice at Brown County Arena back in 1994. Four Clark Cups, a lot of success there on the ice. Also off the ice, Gamblers annually ranked amongst the leaders in the USHL and the tennis. Talk about the marriage between the hockey operations side and the business side of the organization, Jeff.
Yeah, for us, we're under the philosophy that we're selling much more than hockey. Uh, the brand on the ice is unreal. I was in Pittsburgh for the Fall Classic this year, and being in the league as long as I have been, I can't believe how good the product has become. But for us, Green Bay is probably more of a non-traditional hockey market. We need to do more than just obviously promote hockey. So our business staff really is under the philosophy that every game's an event, and we have something tied to it, whether it's a concession special or a wiener dog race or a teddy bear toss. But really, when you come to a Gambler game, you're not only seeing the best talent in the world, but you're also having a great time with everything that's going on in the building, and that's helped us really develop into a marquee program and have the attendance numbers that we do.
You've been with the organization for quite a while, beginning in 2003, and then became the director of business and promotions 2008, promoted to the president in 2020. Of course, USHL Executive of the Year in 2021. What's been your experience in working with the Gamblers, Jeff? What makes the organization special?
I think it's the people. It's our our philosophies and mission statement that we follow. I've been blessed to work for Brendan Bruss, who is the president of PMI, which is the ownership group of the Green Bay Gamblers. But I've been under Brendan's wing since, probably 2004, 2005. And a lot of what I preach and what we take part in or apply to our model is things that I've learned from him. We've been wildly successful, obviously on the coaching front. Hiring of John Cooper, hiring of Derek Lalone, Donnie Granato, who predates me, but to have three NHL coaches or three coaches that are now in the NHL is huge. But, we got those guys because we believe in what we believe in. We have a mission statement that we follow to the letter. We know who we are. And, when Brendan and I hired Mike Leone this time around, the reason we liked Mike so much is, he does have that connection to John Cooper. Mike had played for John in St. Louis, the North American Hockey League. I kind of saw him as someone who really kind of followed that model of John. Coop kind of had that magnetic personality to him. Mike has a lot of that to him too. That's what really drew me to Mike. The other thing too, our associate head coach is Pat McCadden. And Pat he was our captain in 2010 when we won the Clark Cup, played for Coop, played for Newsy with Toledo. And again, he's someone that knows our culture, knows what it means to be a Green Bay Gambler. And, beginning last year, that was really the focus of our organization, is to get back to that model to say, hey, this is who we are, this is who we want to be. And we're going to get those kind of coaches and players who are going to follow that model. And last year, Mike, exceeded expectations. And this year, our expectations are even higher. And we want to win the organization's fifth Clark Cup. That's really what we're here for.
The catchphrase we use in USHL is "Stars Rise," and certainly with the names you listed off there, with the coaches that have gone on from the junior ranks in Green Bay in particular to work in the NHL is impressive. Talk a little bit about some of the players on the player side, success that the Gamblers have had in producing not only college players year after year, but also players that are able to play in the NHL.
Sure. I mean, in 22-23, we had two former Gamblers were captains of their NHL team, Blake Wheeler in Winnipeg and Anders Lee with the New York Islanders. Anders Lee was with us in 2010 when we won the Clark Cup. Anders is an unreal person. Again, hockey was just one of the great things he did. He was a good football player too, and I heard he could also was a pretty good golfer and baseball player. So Anders was kind of an all around kid. We have Nick Schmaltz, who's doing well with the Arizona Coyotes. His brother Jordan kind of been in and out of the NHL a little bit, but Jordan was a big piece of our 2012 team when we won it. And this year too, with Adam Gajan being a second round pick of Chicago, we just added Julian Lutz, who will be in our lineup this weekend. Julian was the second round pick of the 2022 draft for the Arizona Coyotes. So again, we're the subtraction. We use the Anders Lees and the Blake Wheelers and the Andy Walensky's and the Justin Brauns, kids who have played here and gone on to the NHL, to say this could be you. And we address our team early in the year. That's kind of the message to these kids, like, hey, sitting in this room, there's going to be 3 or 4 of you who play in the National Hockey League. And hopefully you can be like Matt Green and Adam Burrish and Ryan Carter, who are on our walls, hoisting that Stanley Cup. And of course, what John Cooper's been able to do too. But I think that's really the power of our message and the USHL as a whole, that, hey, the dream is real. You're an elite prospect. You have the chance to do those things. And when you can sit in a room with 23, 25 kids and say, you know what, odds are 3 or 4 of you are going to make it, that's a pretty powerful message that you can send to those kids.
And one of the things that is really easy to notice about the makeup of the roster, Jeff, is the League of Nations aspect of it in some respects. And the success that Green Bay's had in having kids from all over the world, not just the North America, but Europe as well, to play. And they've not only gone on to the college ranks, but play in the NHL as well. Talk about that process a little bit and trying to figure out how to work through the process of getting a player from Europe to Green Bay.
A lot of that is done through just our relationships with the agents. It's important for us. I always tell Mike, like, hey, we want to be the organization where our phone rings first. If an agent or a school has a player that's in Finland, Sweden, Germany, et cetera, we want to be the first call they're making. And, for us, we feel our program is top notch. When a kid comes to Green Bay, you play in the Resch Center, which is awesome. You're in Green Bay, which is a wonderful town. We have all the benefits. Our goal is to make you better and to get you to where you want to be. And I think that helps us in that recruiting process. And obviously it has this year. We have a kid from Germany, a kid from Sweden, a couple kids from Slovakia, the Ukraine. We have 2 kids from Quebec. We have a kid from Ontario. 11 different states are represented on our team. So, boundaries really, we don't have them. We're a global team. And I think what brings it all together is kids want to play in Green Bay for what we can offer and the people that we have running the ship on the hockey side.
Okay, now let's take a quick look at the start of the season for the Gamblers. 3 wins in the first 4 outings, off to a good start. What are the expectations for the team this year?
Our expectations are to win the Clark Cup. That's why we're here. We want to win it. We feel we have the group that can do that too. But that's what we want to do. That's what we tell our kids every day. Hey, we're here to win the Clark Cup. And that's we're going to do everything we can to make that happen. And I know there are 15 other teams in the USHL who also have that goal, which makes for great competition. But when we look at our team, we have 15 kids who played in the league last year, have experience in the USHL. Our tender Lev Katzen had a 5-point night last Friday. He's been outstanding. You bring in Adam Gajan, who, second round draft pick of the Chicago Blackhawks. He's outstanding. Mike and his staff, Pat McCadden, Mason Batista, our director of scouting, Kirk Ledecky. They've done a great job assembling this team. And again, we feel we have the group that can do it. And that's really our goal, is to, at the end of the year, be the last man standing and raise the organization's 5th Clark Cup.
Now, certainly understandable, 15 guys back from last year's team, and then influx of talent this year, including a second round draft pick between the pipes. It looks like you're set up for success this year. But I got to ask you, Jeff, about the Twins hat. You're over there in Wisconsin, in Green Bay. You can get away with wearing a Twins hat today, apparently.
Well, Lambeau Field is literally about a 5-iron away from my office. So, grew up in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, huge Vikings fan, huge Twins fan. not a big Wild fan just because the North Stars, when they left, it kind of broke my heart. But yeah, I kind of got to keep my allegiances, under the table a little bit. But, the Twins, they won their first playoff game since 2004. And, we're hoping they can close out Toronto tonight. But yeah, in Green Bay, I do got to mind my P's and Q's. But I know when the Vikes come here on October 29th, I'll be wearing my purple and gold.
Yeah,
That's
good
my
for you.
team.
Well, hang in there, buddy. I can understand. Hey, I appreciate you joining us today. Excited for the home opening games this weekend and 30th anniversary for Green Bay. Best of luck to the Gamblers the rest of the season, and hopefully we can check in with you later on this season.
Thank you. I appreciate the time, Paul. Have a good week.
Take care.